So we are in Pioneer Village. Pioneer Village was featured in the opening scenes of Hocus Pocus. It shows Thackeray Binks as a human before being cursed into a black cat. Pioneer Village was built in 1930 and is America's first living history museum. Hey everybody, and welcome to Salem, Massachusetts. Today is October 27th, 2023. It's a beautiful 70 degrees out. Today I'm going to point out some of the filming locations of the famous movie Hocus Pocus, which actually brings in a lot of tourism to Salem. So basically just take a walk through the city, and I'm routing it. So I'm routing it so that we go past a bunch of the filming locations, including the Ropes Mansion, which was Alison's house in Hocus Pocus. A big scene was when Max crashes a Halloween party at Alison's house. The exterior of the Ropes Mansion was used to show Alison's house. The interior was not. You can see, oh, you can hear that. You can see they dressed it up exactly like Alison's house in the movie. But anyway, the interior of the house was filmed in a studio and not in the actual Ropes Mansion. And if you were wondering, Hocus Pocus 2 wasn't filmed in Salem at all. It was filmed in Rhode Island and New York. To be honest, I'm not sure why it wasn't filmed in Salem, but it wasn't. There's the first church in Salem. I think it's Church of the Covenant. There it is.
What is?
We're going to be coming up on the Witch House, which, as you can see, these are two very popular spots. This was not in the Hocus Pocus movie as far as I know, though. As we head up Essex Street. So an interesting fact is that Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy never actually set foot in Salem for the filming of the movie. They were actually, I guess they just filmed in a studio and they never actually came on site because it was mostly the younger cast. Although coincidentally, Sarah Jessica Parker later learned that she is a descendant of someone who is accused of being a witch in the witch trials. That was on the show Who Do You Think You Are? It was her 10th great-grandmother, Esther Elwell. Luckily, though, the trials were dissolved before the conviction, so she was okay in the long run, I guess. Got some really yellow trees here. So interestingly, the Salem Saga episodes of Bewitched were filmed in Salem due to a studio fire on the set in Hollywood. American Hustle, starring Christian Bale, Jennifer Lawrence, and Bradley Cooper, had scenes outside the Federal Street Courthouse. There's been a few more movies that have had filmings in Salem. So we're getting close to the main downtown here. So they close the street down from here forward along Essex Street. And pretty soon we'll get to the next filming location. Kind of a cool day though. So It's a Friday afternoon right now, and so it's crowded, but it is definitely not nearly as crowded as it will probably be on Saturday and Sunday, and more likely a little bit later today. Alright, we got a show going on.
Everybody with me, say faster. Here we go. Watch the right hand. Everybody go ooh. Watch the left hand. Everybody go ah. Check it out. Ready? Behind the back. Behind the back the other way. Here we go. Ready?
It's a good time. So they were coming upon the Salem pedestrian mall, but I'm going to cut around to get to the town hall. You can see it's a haunted Havanese marketplace. Let's see. We go by Rockefellers. This is now, I'm walking down Washington Street. There'll be a lot of people out this weekend. It's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow as it is today. The old Salem Savings Bank. You can see it's about 4 o'clock right now. There's O'Neill's across the street, a few pubs. A couple of bars and restaurants in downtown here. The Boston Burger Company. Great burgers. Alright, so I'm going to take a left here onto Front Street. Another interesting fact about Hocus Pocus was apparently Leonardo DiCaprio was originally offered the role of Max, but he turned it down because he was holding out for What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Of course, Max was played by Omri Katz. Okay, so I'm going to hang a left here to the old town hall of Salem. Here it is. So another classic party scene in the film took place here at Old Town Hall in Derby Square, which included Bette Midler's rendition of Put a Spell on You. Again, only the exterior shots were filmed in Salem. The rest were in a studio. A close look up as we're going to walk around over to the back to the Essex Pedestrian Mall. So Winnie's insults in the movie were accurate for the time period, which were, she said things like maggoty, malfeasance, and trollamog, which I'm guessing are accurate late 1600s insults. There's the other side of the town hall. Okay, so around the corner here should be Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery. It wasn't in the movie, but apparently it has a very impressive figure of Winifred Sanderson. So Bette Midler. Oh, it's over here. There it is. So there's Count Orlok's Nightmare Galleries. This way. Thought it was going to be on the other corner. But anyway, apparently you can see a big statue of Bette Midler as Winifred Sanderson. Also, I think they may have a haunted house in there, and it's a museum. It's actually very relatively chill here today. This would be a great place to stay, but I think you'd have to book in advance. That's a Hotel Salem by a good amount. I believe some of these hotels get booked up to literally a year in advance. Oh my goodness, look at these doggies. So I'm going to say a few of the filming locations took place in Marblehead. I'm not sure if I'm going to get those in this particular video since this is mostly about Salem. So another movie that was filmed partially in Salem was Bride Wars with Anne Hathaway, Kate Hudson. And apparently part of it was filmed inside the Peabody Essex Museum, which is coming up. And Joy is another movie, also starring Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper, like American Hustle, but this time it was with Robert De Niro. I guess they like Salem. There's a Witch City Mall behind me. I don't think I pointed that out. It's actually very nice here today. All right, so I'm going by the Peabody Essex Museum. Let me double check. Yeah, I believe that is where part of the movie Bride Wars was filmed inside. You can see they currently have a Salem Witch Trials exhibit going on right now. I think I can walk in the street here. Oh, maybe not back here, I can't. See, there's definitely some still fall foliage kicking around here. So we're coming up on the Hawthorne Hotel. beautiful historic hotel. Okay, so we're coming up on the Salem Common, which had a lot of scenes from Hocus Pocus in it. You can see they're all set up with the, shall walk right through here. But I'm going to try to get into the spots where the scenes were actually filmed, if my memory serves me correctly. But there was an important scene with Max and Alison having a conversation, and it was down by the basketball courts. And they also used one of the old buildings as their high school, just the exterior again. It was the old Phillips Elementary School, which was in existence up until 1992. It closed literally just before the filming of Hocus Pocus began. It was the fictional Jacob Bailey High School. I'm going to cut through here. Trying to remember if they use this bandstand in any of the scenes. If you know, let me know. There's always like acts, like fun things going on here, usually on Halloween, like bands and DJs. There you can see the basketball court is this way. Actually, you can see, as I'm walking to the court, you can see the building that was the school over here. Okay, so here is the fictional Jacob Bailey High School. It's right next to the Salem Common. Like I said, it used to be the Phillips Elementary School up until 1992. Yeah, here is the basketball court. That Max and Alison had a conversation right next to, as far as I could tell. It's changed a bit. They have much nicer fiberglass backboards. So I would guess this is approximately where they had their conversation. I remember you could see the school in the background, which was right here, and the basketball support was right behind them. So this is probably about the spot. You can see some cool decorations. Okay, so in the opening scene of Hocus Pocus, you may remember that Max biked into the cemetery past this gravestone right here, which is Archibald Sinclair. So they had sort of a side view of it. So I guess he would have biked here. Actually, this path behind me is pretty much a dead end, but if we were going to walk over to where he met up with Jay and Ernie, the two bullies, of course Ernie wanted to be called Ice, he would have come this way. You can see they didn't show a lot. This is a really beautiful cemetery. This is Old Burial Hill in Marblehead. It's hard to believe that the movie came out 30 years ago. Okay, so if I were to go to the spot where Max ran into the bullies. It's right over here. It looks pretty much the same today, very much the same today as it did 30 years ago. And here it is. You can line it up with the, you can line that up with the actual movie. It pretty much looks almost identical. That's where he had the conversation with Jay and Ernie / Ice, where they steal his shoes and bully him. And this right here is where you would most likely actually enter the cemetery. Beautiful fall foliage right now. There's the old Burial Hill sign. Okay guys, so we are at Abbot Hall in Marblehead, Massachusetts. It's the city's town hall. And this is one of the streets that was featured in Hocus Pocus. As you can see, when Max rode his bike near the beginning of the movie and they had a pan by, this was pretty much it. You can see it's pretty much the same as 30 years ago. It's incredible. And here's one of the houses he biked by on his way down to Old Town Marblehead, which was supposed to be Salem, but it was filmed in Marblehead. And there it is. And then he would have gone down this hill right here, and that would take you down to Old Town Marblehead and the bus stop, which I believe is a store down there, which is still there today. Okay, so I'm at Crocker Park in Marblehead, Massachusetts. So I believe this is the scene where Max was looking at Abbot Hall from his bike at the end of the cemetery scene where he got bullied. I looked all over. I came to the definitive conclusion that that was not filmed in Old Burial Hill, but it appears that it was filmed right here in beautiful, beautiful Crocker Park. In 1993 from the movie, you can see that there have been some changes, but it's pretty close to how it was. Of course, some of the houses are different colors, and I believe one of the houses in the foreground there had an add-on put on it compared to 1993, but pretty much still very similar.